Hello everyone, this is Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 4B of our 2026 CSA season. Emails went out yesterday. In those emails are a bunch of in that email is a bunch of special events, so refer to that email for the Blooming Gun Farm party, and then there's a couple other events happening on the farm. All details and how to register are in the email, so make sure you read that. Also in the email is what we're receiving in our shares this week, as well as what each of the add-ons is, description of all of that. There's a veggie spotlight, and then there's also a link to recipes that pertain to things that we have in our share. So really important that you make sure you're getting those and that you read it from front to back or start to finish. Jumping right into this week's share, we have items that have been repeated, we've seen in past shares, and then a couple of new items as well. So let's start with our salad mix. Salad mix is stored just like this in the fridge. Once you're ready to use it, dump it into a sink filled with water or a bowl filled with water, swish it around, get it nice and clean, throw it into your salad spinner, dry it, and then use it as a base for salads. You can dress the salad or make the salad a little bit fancier, add a bunch of different items, or simply keep it the greens and use a lightly dressed green mix as a side for just about anything, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's our salad mix. We have dandelion greens. Dandelion greens are stored just like this. Throw them in a Debbie Meyer green bag or in a plastic bag. Put them in your fridge until you're ready to use them. Once you're ready to use them, you can rinse them and actually serve them raw as a salad. They're a little bit bitter, but they're really good for you, full of nutrients. They're fantastic to throw into smoothies. We have a lot of greens this week, so if you are a smoothie person, you could actually make green cubes with a lot of the greens that we have. So dandelion greens, the beet greens, our kale, they can all go into a green cube, and that PDF is on our hub. Anyway, dandelion greens served raw as in a salad. You can saute them as a side. There's a dandelion green, and I believe I added bacon to that. There's that recipe on the website. Last week's recipe was a beet and berry smoothie, which we have all the ingredients this week. So we used roasted beets, our strawberries, and a few dandelion greens. Amazing color, beautiful magenta colored smoothie. And you could prep all of your ingredients and actually freeze it, pre-make it in the morning for an afternoon snack. I made, I think, 2 batches, and we enjoyed it. So think about that if you haven't tried that recipe yet. That uses a couple dandelion greens, but also a simple sauteed greens recipe, which there's a PDF for simple sauteed greens, and then there's also a recipe that you can kind of use a lot of our greens for. So that's our dandelion greens. Our beets. First thing you want to do for the beets, chop off the bottoms, store them in a Ziploc bag or a separate bag. Your green tops get stored in a separate bag. The bottoms, you can use them raw. You can shred them and put them on top of salad. There's a couple of recipes for salad or like a slaw, beet slaw on the website. Pickled beets are delicious, and I think I have pickled beets 2 ways on the website, a more spicy version and a regular version. Roasting them, and like I said, the recipe from last week used them roasted in a smoothie. The tops, usually sauteed. If you're not going to use them, chop them off, rinse them, get them dry, and throw them in your freezer bag to be used for veggie stock later in the season. We have basil. Basil is stored just like this. So I already chopped off the rubber band, threw it into a glass of water, and this will sit on my counter just like this. We got basil last week, so if you still have your basil from last week and you're a weekly share person, think about making something in bulk with basil. So a pesto, a sauce. This week's recipe, I'm pretty sure, is going to use some of the basil, not a huge amount, but some of it. But great for pestos, great for sauces, great for salad dressings. There's the strawberry basil popsicle. I believe there's a strawberry basil lemonade on the website. So both of those you have the ingredients for, and they would work well. So take a look at those recipes if you haven't already, but stored just like this on the counter. We have green garlic. Green garlic is stored, either wrap it in like saran wrap because they're really tall, or a large Debbie Meyer green bag and store in the fridge. It's a light garlic flavor, so you're gonna use it just like you would garlic. You can use it in a stir fry. We used our green garlic last week. I made both guac and like a pico de gallo for a Mexican dinner. That's where I used my green garlic from last week. You can use the entire stalk plus the bulb at the bottom, so just chop off the roots and then chop everything up and use it like you would a garlic. So flavoring with garlics can be used raw or can be cooked and sauteed. We have strawberries, and we got to get in the field again today. I believe this is the last week for strawberries, so enjoy them. Once you're ready to, don't rinse them or wash them until you're ready to use them. Once you're ready to use them, wash them off, chop them up. Save your strawberry tops for strawberry top vinegar. That's a great recipe also on the website. Strawberries can be eaten just like they are. You can put them on top of yogurt bowls, granola. You can bake with them. You can clean them up, wash them off, dry them, and freeze them. They were used in last week's smoothie recipe. I believe this week I am using the strawberries. There's a strawberry mint chia pudding. I'm pretty sure it's on the website. That's what I'm planning on making with them. But stored in the fridge until you're ready to use them. They don't usually last very long in our house. We have scallions. Scallions are stored in a Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge until you're ready to use them. Once you're ready to use them, rinse them off. Typically they're used for like a garnish. They're a light onion flavor, so you can use them on top of salads and salad dressings, on top of potatoes, like a baked potato, mashed potato bar. I am making, because I still have scallions left from last week, I'm using last week's scallions for the scallion rice, which uses a whole bunch of scallions. So I'm using that, I'm making that tonight as a side. So that'll use a bunch up. You can also dehydrate them, so chop them up, throw them in your dehydrator, and then that preserves them. But used for a light onion flavor, however you would like to use them. Kale again this week, so stored in a Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge, can be eaten raw or cooked. Quick, simple sauteed greens recipe. You can do kale chips. I think I'm gonna make kale chips this week. We love to do a massaged kale salad, so everyone in the house eats that. So that's just chopping it up and massaging in the dressing to kind of break down the greens a little bit. Kale can be used in smoothies. Like I said earlier, you can make green cubes from a bunch of the greens that we have, simple sauteed greens, and that's about it. I know there's other recipes for kale, but using it cooked or raw. We have broccoli. Broccoli is stored in a Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge. Once you're ready to use it, have a bowl of salt water. Just lightly salt your water, throw the head florets down into the water, swish it around, pull it out, and then you can do a quick blanch, which is great for salads, or you can saute it, great in stir fries. You can roast it, so lots of different ways, and it will change the flavor slightly. So broccoli is pretty easy to use. We also received cucumbers. So cucumbers are stored in a crisper drawer of your fridge. Once you're ready to use it, you can leave the skin on or take it off, your choice. Can be used in salsas, can be used on salads. Most often eaten, you can just do like a quick cut with a little sea salt on it. That works really well. You can make a cucumber salad or just add it to your green salad. Last but not least is our huge head of romaine. Romaine is stored in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag. Once you're ready to use it, rinse it, dry it off, chop it, and then it's great as a salad base on top of sandwiches and wraps, on top of burgers, great for tacos. I'm pretty sure this will be used in this week's recipe, working on that idea over the next 2 days. So stay tuned on Thursday for that. That is it for this week. Oh, we also got to pick herbs. So if you went into the herb boxes, they're open now. The herbs that are available for picking have a red flag on them. So take a look at those. Everything is labeled. But I went around the herb gardens and there was chamomile, lemon thyme, oregano, thyme, mint, mojito mint, chocolate mint, hyssop, sage, spearmint, and lemon balm. I might have missed one or two, but those are what I saw. So grab a small bundle of herbs to use however you would like. I grabbed a little bit of the mint to do the chia pudding. I know a lot of people were grabbing the chamomile. We posted a video of how to use chamomile. I believe that got posted last week, so take a look at that. But lots of great herbs for you to use however you want. Those are most often stored in a Ziploc bag in the fridge, or if you have one of those cute herb savers, that helps. Again, stored in the fridge until you're ready to use them. That's it for this week. I will see you guys all again next Tuesday.